to my channel Online Biology Tutorials. In this live of today, I will be reading Chapter 10 Life Processes in Plants. It is taken from the Curiosity Book of Science, Class 7. So, as the screen is clear to you, let's go ahead. Chapter 10 Life Processes in Plants. In grade 6, we learned that all living beings grow and need food for their growth. Also, in the previous chapter, we discussed the process through which animals obtain nutrition. We know that animals eat food to grow, but what about plants? Have you ever seen plants eating food like animals do? As animals grow, their size and weight usually increase and their bodies undergo various changes. What changes do you notice in bodies in plants when they grow? We learned that food provides nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals, which, along with water, are all essential for growth. Let us explore how plants obtain nutrients for their growth. How do plants grow? Look around your neighborhood. Have you observed any changes in a plant during its lifespan? As a plant grows, new leaves and branches emerge. Its height increases and its stem thickens. What do you think causes these changes? Discuss with your friends and provide your explanation as well. When we water plants regularly, they grow better. So I think water also contributes to its growth. Maybe the plants take up food from the soil through their roots. I think sunlight plays some role in the growth of plants. I think maybe dash plays some role. So you need to think about this extra point which this boy is thinking about. Let us perform an experiment to test some of these explanations. So, activity 10.1, take three earthen pots or use bottles, containers of the same size filled with garden soil. Plant saplings of different sizes of a fast growing plant like chili or tomato in each pot. Label the pots as A, B, and C. Count the number of leaves on each sapling and record your observations. Place pot A in direct sunlight. Keep the soil in this pot slightly moist by adding an adequate amount of water each day. Place pot B in direct sunlight without adding water to the soil. Place pot C in the dark. Keep the soil in this pot slightly moist by adding an adequate amount of water every day. Observe the plants for 2 weeks and record changes in their height, number of leaves, color of leaves, or any other changes that may appear. So you need to record your observations for pot A, pot B, pot C, for the sunlight, availability for the water that you have given, height increase each day, number of leaves on day 1 or after 2 weeks, and the color of leaves if you observe any change. What difference did you observe between the plants in three pots? Which pot has the plant with the maximum growth? Which pot has the plant with the least growth? Analyze the observations recorded in Table 10.1 and discuss them with your teacher and friends. You are likely to find that the plant in pot A, kept in direct sunlight with adequate water, grows better than the plant in pot C, which gets adequate water but no sunlight. The plant in pot B may have died as it did not get water even though it received adequate sunlight. What do you infer from the observations made in this activity? The results indicate that plants require both sunlight and water for their growth. Fascinating facts. Trees do not produce fruits and flowers merely because they are planted. This line is from the ancient Indian text name Vriksha, Vriksha Ayurveda. It records useful observations about plant growth, soil, and agricultural practices to help improve crop health, growth, and production. The knowledge in the text seems to be based on practical experiences and patterns seen over time. These ideas were then systematically documented to guide farming practices. For instance, there are references to different methods of organic manure preparation, such as mixing water, barley, and various seeds like green, black, and horse grams. 10.2. Let me adjust the screen. We know that animals get their food from plants either directly or by eating plants, or indirectly by eating animals that in turn eat plants for their nutrition and growth. But how do plants obtain the food they need to grow? Unlike animals, plants do not eat food. Leaves, the food factories of plants. Plants store food in the form of starch, a type of carbohydrate. This is starch produced in the leaves of the plants, which by design are generally broad and flat. These are mostly green because of the presence of a green pigment called chlorophyll that helps in capturing sunlight efficiently. Let us find out the of role chlorophyll plays in the preparation of food in the form of starch in plants. Activity 10.2, it's a demonstration activity. The teacher may demonstrate the activity. Keep a leaf in boiling water for 5 minutes to soften it. Dip this leaf in a test tube containing alcohol. Place the test tube in a beaker containing boiling water. Wait until the leaf becomes colorless. So, according to the explanation, this is the image that you can refer to. Take out the leaf and place it on a plate. Now put a few drops of diluted iodine solution with the help of a dropper on the decolorized leaf. Wait for a few minutes and observe. If the color of the leaf changes to blue-black, it indicates the presence of starch. Alcohol should never be placed near a heat source directly as it is highly flammable and can easily lead to fire and burns. Did you wonder why we decolorize the leaf in the beginning of this activity? Decolorization of a leaf enables us to easily observe color change and thus the presence of starch. In activity 10.1, we have learned that water and sunlight are essential for plant growth. In activity 10.2, we have discovered that green leaves store starch as food. Bhaskar loves gardening during his free time. Being a curious student, he often looks around his garden and wonders how plants produce food. From his experiences, Bhaskar knows that water and sunlight are essential for plant growth, but he wonders if sunlight contributes to the production of food in the form of starch in plants. How does sunlight contribute in the production of starch in plants? Activity 10.3. Bhaskar took a leaf having both green and non-green patches from each of two similar potted plants. One kept in sunlight and the other kept in the dark for 36 hours. He wanted to compare the leaves before and after the starch test. He made a sketch of the leaves to record the location of the green and the non-green patches on them with the help of tracing paper. After that, he performed an iodine test on the leaves. Bhaskar recorded his observations in 10.2. So, presence of starch in green and non-green parts of the leaves, light conditions of the potted plant kept in sunlight, initial color before iodine test, green and non-green patches on the leaf, final colors after iodine test, green patches of leaf turned blue back in color. Plant that was kept in the dark, green and non-green patches on the leaf, no change in the color because you know that in the darkness no photosynthesis occurs, so no starch was there. No starch means no blue black color on putting a few drops of iodine solution. In table 10.2, Bhaskar recorded a blue-black color indicating the presence of starch on the green patches of the leaf obtained from the plant placed in sunlight. Bhaskar also recorded that the leaf obtained from the plant kept in the dark does not show a blue-black color even on the green patches, indicating that no starch has been produced. Non-green patches of the leaf obtained from the plant placed in sunlight do not turn blue-black. Does it indicate that there is no chlorophyll present in those patches? The non-green patches may not have sufficient chlorophyll to prepare enough starch to be detected using the iodine test. Fascinating fact, some plant leaves appear red, violet, or brown because they contain more of these colored pigments than the green colored chlorophyll. This hides the green color. Some of these pigments also help in photosynthesis. You can use an iodine test to check for the presence of starch in these leaves, indicating that photosynthesis has indeed taken place. What do you infer from the observations listed in Table 10.2? As we know, leaves are mostly green because of the presence of chlorophyll. We have also seen that the starch is produced where green patches of the leaves are present. We can infer that chlorophyll helps in preparing starch in the presence of sunlight. In fact, it is essential for the preparation of starch. Hence, the leaves are also called food factories of plants. What else is essential for the preparation of food in plants? Role of air in the preparation of food. While reading contributions of scientists in plant nutrition, my sister told me that air plays a role in the process of food preparation in plants. Which gas from the air is essential in the process of food preparation in plants? Activity 10.4. The teacher may demonstrate this activity. Take a potted green plant and keep it in the dark for 2 to 3 days to allow it to de-starch. De-starch means it will lose any stored starch. Then locate one leaf of this plant for this experiment. Take a wide mouth bottle and pour some caustic soda or sodium hydroxide into it. Caustic soda absorbs carbon dioxide from the air. Caustic soda is a strong chemical that can cause skin burns. Only teachers should handle it. Insert half of the de-starched leaf into the bottle through the split cork, leaving the other half of the leaf outside, and place the bottle as shown in figure 10.3a. So these are the images they are referring to in the text. Place the setup in sunlight for a few hours. Observe and record the availability of water, sunlight, chlorophyll, and carbon dioxide in Table 10.3. Remove the leaf and test it for starch using the iodine test, as was done in Activity 10.2. You are required to record your observations in 10.3. So, part of the leaf inside the bottle, part of the leaf outside the bottle, availability of water, sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, and starch, whether it is present or not present, has to be recorded. We notice that the part of the leaf that was outside the bottle turns blue-black, indicating the presence of starch. However, the part of the leaf inside the bottle does not turn blue-black in color, indicating the food is not made in that part of the leaf. This is because the caustic soda solution inside the flask absorbs the carbon dioxide present in the air. What does this experiment show? This experiment shows that carbon dioxide present in the air is essential for plants to prepare starch. Based on activities 10.3 and 10.4, what do you conclude? Which part of the plant is involved in the synthesis of starch? Based on our learning so far, we have found that sunlight, water, chlorophyll, and carbon dioxide are essential for the synthesis of food in plants. This process by which plants prepare food in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is called photosynthesis. A leaf is the primary site for photosynthesis. Do other green parts of the plant also perform photosynthesis? Yes. Other parts of the plants which have chlorophyll also perform photosynthesis. So far, we have learned that plants take in carbon dioxide from the air and water and use sunlight to prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. But have you ever thought about what more happens during this process? Do plants only take in substances from their surroundings, or do they also release something? Let us explore an experiment. Let us explore this through an experiment performed by Barkha Didi. Activity 10.5. Look at figure 10.4. The two setups labeled as A and B. In figure 10.4, setup A is placed in sunlight and setup B is placed in the dark. What difference do you observe in the two setups? Do you observe air bubbles emerging in the inverted test tube in setup A? The gas produced in this setup cause bubbles to emerge and get accumulated in the inverted test tube. Which gas is this? So here is the complete setup which they are talking about. And now the thoughts. Oh, yes, I remember in our science lab, I have seen a similar setup placed under sunlight near a window. When sufficient gas was accumulated in the inverted test tube, Parkha Didi placed her thumb on the mouth of the test tube while taking the test tube off the setup. She then quickly inserted a lit matchstick into the tube, and the matchstick produced an intense flame. She inferred that the gas in the test tube is rich in oxygen. It indicates that oxygen is released during the process of photosynthesis. It also indicates that photosynthesis occurs in the presence of sunlight. Based on Barkha Didi's experiment, we can conclude that oxygen is released during the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis in a nutshell. We know that water, sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and chlorophyll are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis that produces carbohydrates. During photosynthesis, food is actually produced in the form of glucose, a simple carbohydrate. This glucose not only serves as an instant source of energy but also later gets converted into starch for storage. The word equation of photosynthesis is given below. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll will give you glucose and oxygen. Noah scientists, many scientists across the world contributed to develop an understanding of photosynthesis. In India, Rutsam Hormuzji Dastur lived, born in 1896 and died in 1961, studied the process of photosynthesis. He was a plant scientist and served as the head of botany department at the Royal Institute of Science, Bombay. Now the Institute of Science in Bombay from 1921 to 1935. He studied effects of the amount of water and temperature on photosynthesis. He examined the importance of water, temperature, and the color of light in the process of photosynthesis. How do leaves exchange gases during photosynthesis? We now know that photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide and oxygen is released in the process. Which part of the plant helps in the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen? Let us conduct an activity to understand where the exchange of gases takes place. So this is activity 10.6. The teacher may demonstrate this activity, collect a leaf from a plant such as royo, money plant, onion, hibiscus, coleus, or any grass. Put it in a beaker filled with water. Carefully peel a thin layer from the lower surface of the leaf. Place the peel in a watch glass with water. Now take a microscope slide and carefully put a drop of water on it. Using forceps, transfer the peel of the leaf from the watch glass to the slide with the help of forceps. Put a drop of ink on the leaf peel with the help of the dropper. Cover the peel with a cover slip and observe it under the microscope. What do you observe? Do you notice tiny pores on the peel as shown in figure 10.6? So here you can see that image has been shown to you and all these structures, these are stomata. You can see a dark line. This actually dark line refers to the stomatal pore and kidney shaped cells which are surrounding the pore. These are known as the guard cells. What do you observe? Do you notice tiny pores on the leaves as shown in figure 10.6? These pores are known as the stomata. Stomata present on the surface of leaves helps in the exchange of gases. So whenever carbon dioxide goes in, photosynthesis happens, and once photosynthesis is done, oxygen is produced as an extra product or a byproduct. It will move out. So CO2 moves in for the photosynthesis and oxygen has to move out. Transport in plants, transport of water and minerals. All living beings need water to grow. Plants use water in the process of photosynthesis. Water, along with minerals present in the soil, is taken up by the roots of the plant. Minerals are important nutrients for the growth of the plants. How do water and minerals take up by the roots move to all parts of the plant? We can study water transport in plants by carrying out an activity. For this activity, we require two glass tumblers, some water, red ink, and twigs of two similar tender plants, preferably with white colored flower, for example, white sadabahar or balsam, as shown in figure 10.7. So, this is the activity to be done now. Let me adjust the screen. Take two tumblers and label them A and B. Fill one-third of each tumbler with water. Add a few drops of red ink to tumbler B. Obliquely cut the stems of both the plants at their base while keeping them inside the water and immediately place one plant in each tumbler as shown in 10.7 A and B. Means this and this. Observe these plants the next day. What do you notice? Compare the plant stems placed in the tumblers. Do you observe red color in the stem leaves and flowers of the plant from tumbler B? Figure 10.7C and D. This and this shows the plant after 1 day. Compare the plants in 10.7C with that of 10.7D. A red color is visible in the stem, leaves, and the flowers of the plant in figure 10.7D. How did different parts of the plant acquire this red color? Cut the stem from the upper part of the plant that is not immersed in the red color water. Observe the cut stem using a magnifying glass. Do you spot the red color in the stem? How does the red color ink move upwards? This is due to the thin tube-like structure called the xylem present in the stem, branches, and leaves of the plants. Just like red ink, minerals dissolved in water also moves up the stem through the xylem. Now we know that water and minerals are transported to the leaves and other parts of the plants through the xylem. The water transported through the xylem is used to perform various functions. How does food get transported to other parts of the plant? So we will be studying transport of food now. We know that leaves are the primary site for photosynthesis. The food prepared by the plants in the leaves is transported to all the parts of the plant. This food is transported through another set of thin tube-like structures called the phloem. The transported food may also be stored in some other parts of the plant such as seeds, roots, etc. Do plants also respire? In the grade 6 science textbook Curiosity chapter Living Creatures, exploring their characteristics, you learned that all living beings respire. Do plants also respire like we do? So we will be doing a demonstration activity on it. Soak some mung bean seeds in water overnight. Put a layer of cotton in a conical flask and moisten that cotton with water to keep it wet. Place the soaked seeds over the wet cotton in the conical flask. Cover the mouth of the conical flask with a cork having two holes. Fit two tubes A and B through the two holes on the cork as shown to you in this figure. Leave it undisturbed for 24 hours in the dark. You can view this image first. Take two test tubes and fill them with lime water. Cover the mouth of one test tube with a cork having one hole in it. Dip one glass tube in the test tube through a hole in the cork. Connect the flask and test tube with a rubber pipe as shown in figure 10.9. Compare both the test tubes for any change in color. Does the lime water turns milky in both the test tubes? Why does the lime water turns milky in the test tube connected to the flask? Lime water turns milky due to the presence of more carbon dioxide in the flask. But where does this CO2 come from? As we know, carbon dioxide is naturally present in very small quantities in the air. In the flask, additional carbon dioxide is reduced by the seeds as they respire. During respiration, glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide, water, and energy. The word equation for the process of respiration is as follows: glucose plus oxygen will be giving carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. The energy produced during respiration is used by plants for their growth and development. All parts of a plant, green or non green, carry out for respiration. Thus, plants have different mechanisms for synthesizing, transporting, and utilizing food to get energy. In a nutshell, all living organisms require food that provide energy for their growth and development. Plants use carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to produce glucose and oxygen. This process of synthesizing of food is known as photosynthesis. Leaves are the food factories of a plant. Tiny pores on the surface of leaves are called stomata, help in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and respiration. The xylem transports water and minerals from roots, while the phloem carries food from leaves to all the parts of the plants. Plants break down glucose and release energy by a process called respiration. They use oxygen and release carbon dioxide in this process. So, here you can pause the video and go through all the questions of this chapter. So, here on this page, you can see questions from 1 to 5. This is another page where you can see 6, 7, 8. These are all our activity based, competency based questions that you can practice on your own for this chapter. So, all the images should be visible. And here we come to question number 9 and 10. In case you are interested, you can go through these exploratory projects as well. Here, a small block is there on a scientist. I hope my screen is visible. Kamala Sohoni, born in 1911 and died in 1998, was a women scientist of India. She received a PhD degree from her remarkable contribution in the area of respiration in plants from Cambridge University. She returned to India and worked at the Lady Hardinge Medical College in New Delhi and later at the Nutrition Research Laboratory, Coonoor. Thereafter, she moved to the then Royal Institute of Science, Bombay, where she was eventually appointed as director. Much of her work helped improve the nutritive values of plant foods. She also worked on the sap of the coconut palm as a nutritive drink called Neera. So, this was an additional knowledge that was given to you. So, here we are done with the live reading of Chapter 10 Life Processes in Plants. In case you are interested in hearing the audio of first 9 chapters, you can visit the playlist on my channel. Stay connected. See you in next live.